Hi, I'm just going to do a quick tutorial on how to install CentOS 6.2 on VirtualBox. Okay, so I'm also going to go through how to install the Guest Additions on 6.2. So if you jump to here on the timeline, I'm going to talk you through the Guest Additions part of it. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a name. Sort of virtual new. Now, because it's Linux, you have to pick Linux, but it's not. CentOS is not listed, but CentOS is basically Red Hat Enterprise. So you pick that. You must pick at least a gig of memory here. If you don't, you'll get a different set of screens. They'll look more like DOS. I'm just going to create a new hard disk. I'm going to make it a VHD file, and I'm going to make the dynamic. All that means is that the disk will not use the space unless it needs it, but it will think it has it. I'm going to give it 20, I don't know, 20 gig, whatever that is. Just a bit of space. It won't use it unless it needs it. And I'm going to create the box. The second thing I'm going to do, before I even go in, is I'm going to go to network, and I'm going to make sure it's a bridged adapter. What that means is that the network cable I've got here plugged into my laptop, that Ethernet port which it's plugged into will effectively be a schizophrenic network card, and it will believe that it has both IPs running on it. Okay, so it'll work a bit like a switch. If you've ever bought one of those sort of Netgear switches with loads of holes in it, effectively you're turning that into a virtual switch by bridging it. Okay, so what it means is it'll go upstream and look for DHCP or an IP based on the network that the host computer has already got. Okay, so now I've bridged it. I've got the first run visit wizard. Now I've already downloaded the files that I need. Okay, so I'm going to attach it. This is an ISO file. It's a 64-bit architecture. I've had to enable a thing called VTAMDV on the BIOS, which basically means I've enabled the virtualization on the BIOS because I've got a 64-bit laptop here. But if you don't enable the virtualization on the BIOS, then it won't be able to detect 64-bit. It'll only be able to detect 32-bit. Okay, so you pick this file here. This one exactly is the one that you want. Okay, anything else is not what you want, and the size is a giveaway. It's massive. It's 1 gig. Okay, and I'm just going to say start. This is actually the VirtualBox, so I'm in now. Okay. Remember, I'm going to talk about installing the VMware tools, the Guest Addition. Sorry. Okay, so in a few seconds this will be done. Okay, so I always skip this first step. Don't need to do it. Okay, eventually it'll come up. The screen will change. If you didn't pick 1 gig, you wouldn't have this new screen. Okay, you'd have it in blue, and it's a little bit harder to use. At least I believe so. Okay, so let me do. I'm English in Britain, the home of all good things. So I'm just going to next do this. Okay, so I'm going to pick basic storage. Okay, yes, discarding the data because it's just a virtual machine. Okay, so I'm going to give it a name here. I'm going to just call it virtual new. Now I'm not on a domain, so it doesn't matter. So just give it a name like that. Okay. I have to hit the right control key, by the way, which is why this is taking an enormous amount of time. Also, I have to jump back and forth because for some reason the display is enormous. So I'm going to pick London. I don't live in London. I live near York, but they don't put York in. Okay. So this right control thing, if I hit it, but I'm in the screen. If I don't hit it, I'm not in the screen. screen basically. I'm back in host mode. Okay, that's why the cursor's changing. I don't know if you can see that in this screen capture. But anyway, okay. So next one, I'm going to give it a password. This is the root password. Okay, which is, I won't tell you what that does because you already know. It's basically the mama jama password for the whole lot. Okay, I'm going to ask it to replace any existing systems that are there, which is purely just I'm going to say write changes to disks. Okay, it's lots and lots of are you sure, are you sure? Okay, so it's formatting the space available, and now it's going to, now I always pick, this is interesting actually, because I'll be honest with you, there's various ways of doing this. I always pick desktop, because you get, and then add everything else later basically with yum, but you don't need to do that. We can customize that now actually. I've not done that for a while. So here's the good stuff. This is actually one of the best things about Linux, and if you've never got into CentOS or Red Hat, this is basically, CentOS is basically Red Hat but for free. There's no service charges or anything for the enterprise stuff. So I can say, okay, I'll have MySQL, I'll have Eclipse, plus whatever that is. I don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. I don't need any of this, but I could enable it. There we go. Web support, PHP support, web server. And I can also put in, I think it's Tomcat. I'm just going to check. I mean, to be fair, this is one of the most fun things. You can just put all this stuff in and it just works so well. You really don't have to get involved. You just say yes, 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 and there's no money involved or anything. It's quite, you know, for somebody who's a bit more Windows based, as I normally am, it's fantastic. Really, really useful to have all these options. Okay, so I've just dumped all this. Now I'm going to pause it, the video I mean, because it's going to take a while to cook this. Okay, this is the message you get when you've finished the installation. I'm just going to move this so you can see it. Oops. And it seems to, I don't know why, it seems to take ages to restart that first time, and it seems to be upset when it doesn't. But now we have CentOS. Now I believe I did not make a user yet. Maybe I did. Who knows? So just let it start. It's taking longer than I thought, probably because it's recording and all the rest of it. Okay. I want to do this video properly because a lot of people skip a lot of these steps, and I know it takes more time. I mean, you can skip forward through the video if you want. That's fine, you know. But I like to show people kind of what it's really doing. Okay, here we go. I mean, I have a pretty good piece of laptop. It was new about 4 months ago, and it's an 8-core Sony Vaio laptop, so that with loads of RAM. Well, 4 actually, it's not loads, but it's enough. Right, okay, so I'm just going to agree to this. Here we go. This is the bit where you create the user. Now, to be honest, this really doesn't interest me. I'm in development, so I'm not interested really in this. What I do is I just set it up like that. Okay, now this is important. This is important. Okay, you click on network login. Oh, I've gone past it. Oh, I've gone past it. We're going to have to go in and do that when I create the... Just trying to do stupid. Let me show you everything full screen. Right, okay. That's correct. Okay. It always says this. I don't know why. It seems to be complaining about this thing called kdump. And it always says that there isn't insufficient memory to do it. But I don't know. I've never had a problem with it since, so I don't know. And every time, I've done this about 12 times now, and it's always the same. So right, I'm going to log in. Okay. With the password that I just created. Okay, so I've got a user called user. It doesn't matter. It's just to get me onto the desktop. Okay. And I'll just quickly go through what this is that we're doing. I'm eventually going to do this bit, okay? Which is not, I'm not in the virtual machine, I'm in the shell of it. I'm on the host now, okay? So before I do it, I'm going to quickly, because at the moment the big problems is my keyboard and mouse aren't properly integrated to the device. Now this is really annoying, and I have no idea why people think this is a good idea, because, you know, I mean, even very, very basic situations you need to have internet access. So I always have to do this, and I don't understand why. Okay, it's this thing here, connect automatically. If you don't click that, it won't work. Okay, it's completely rubbish, but there you go. I'm sure there's a reason, but it seems to probably not be worth it in my opinion, because you're talking about asking something to do something that it's built to do. It doesn't really make any sense. Okay, it's hard enough with all the bridging and all the rest of it to think about stuff like that. Right. Okay, so this is now, we're going to go into terminal. The first thing you do when you go into terminal, okay, you look, it says my name of my student computer, okay, is I just press SU, which means super user. Okay, so now I'm root. Okay, you need to be root to do anything in Linux when in terms of installations, right? Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mount the guest additions, okay, which is devices. I'm just going to click that, okay, now you'll see it appear here, okay, and it'll ask me, in 6.2 it asks what do you want to do. I always just cancel that. We can do that later. Okay, so it's mounted, that's the most important thing. Okay, so now we're going to do now we're going to do the now these take ages. Okay, so I'm going to pause. You see something that looks like this. By the way, that command yum update kernel star, you need to type that. I didn't actually say that. That's what you need to do. But we're going to type that and we're going to restart. Okay, so I'm just going to show you what it looks like running correctly. It asks you if you want to continue. You say yeah. Okay. This is healthy. This is good. Okay, so the next question is we're going to say yes once it's downloaded. There's a time lapse there. Okay, it takes some time, but this is kind of what you end up looking at. A load of kernel updates. It's still running, so just give it some time to finish. Okay, when it's done, you need to do reboot. Okay, which reboots it. Okay, I'm going to show you the whole reboot cycle. Why not? Okay, so we're doing the reboot now. Okay, it's still rebooting. So what we just did was updated the kernel to make sure that it's up to date. I don't really know why you need to do that, but that's what I always do. Okay, I've just downloaded the latest version of CentOS, but it's always good to make sure the kernel's up to date. So wait for this. Okay, so that's come up, and we need to go to terminal again, and straight away super user it all. First thing you do, the next thing you do is do another yum install, which is gcc kernel-devel and kernel-headers. Okay. And this will take some time, and while that's cooking I'll pause. Okay, so it seems to be happy with that. Okay, the next thing we do is specific to CentOS. You have to type this in. I don't really know what it does. Now this next bit's a bit funny. You use the -r and this little backwards slash kind of character, which is the one next to on the UK keyboard. It's right near the escape key. Okay. Okay. So you type kernel equals, that's supposed to be user. Sorry, I typed that. Source kernels uname r, done a dash, uname m. Okay. And then you type export. And now you change to your scene directory to media, and then you type that, which is just the command that you need to actually do the installation. Bring it up so you can see. Okay, so this is how you install Guest Additions basically. Even though I rebooted, it was state mounted. I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't remount it. This menu up here is already active, if you follow me. Okay. It's effectively like a CD drive's been stuck in. Okay. You do the kern dir directory stuff. I think that's to make sure that it works on a reboot. The Guest Additions continue to work on an update of the kernel. But I'm not 100% sure why you do that. But the other tutorials online that show you how you do other installations don't work. This one will. So you get an error message at the Guest Additions module. Well, it'll go failed. Okay. So you get nice lots of green OK here. Okay. And you're done. I think if you just do a reboot now, I might just check if it works. Yeah, we're in. Okay, so I don't know if you can know the difference, but I can go from here to here to here without any stress. You can see the cursor changing. Okay, so if I just do one thing as well, and then there's a final test. I thought you had to reboot it, but obviously you don't. Okay, you can't type. That must be a different. I was going to paste something in, but I think that's a bit Hyper-V that you can do that. So anyway, that's the tutorial over. how to install Guest Additions on CentOS 6.2.